What up? What up? What up? This is Reckley Podcast, man. This is episode number 50. Y'all know me. My name is Randy Little. And like I said at the end of last year, 2 weeks ago, I was gonna retool the podcast a little bit. Not so much sports or not so much the hip hop segments anymore. They'll pop in and out occasionally, but I'm not gonna do them every show. So this is that first episode where it's me. It's the intro. It's the hi guys. Um, it's the movie segment, which this episode is me, myself, Eric Sigmund, Nick Goodman, talking about our most anticipated movies, and then we just get into talking about movies after that, um, and then bars. Um, I mean, it's still fun. The movies have dominated every show up to this point anyway, and I even moved the new releases as far as theatrical, as far as new on Blu-ray and DVD, in to start the movie segment. And I think that's it, man. Because until, like, I don't really want to do the poll questions again until movies like start coming out every week again. So no poll questions yet, unless there's like a huge episode, unless like some huge like movie related breaking news comes out. But so far it hasn't, and that's it, man. Like I hope you guys are kicking it with me on social at Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, at Rec League Pod on Twitter, and you know what I'm saying, like, you know, celebrating the movies I celebrate the anniversaries with me. Like I said on the socials, I'm still posting sports, I'm still posting music, but I don't always have that reliable other person to bounce off the conversation with. So when I got people who want to jump in on that with me, those segments will come back. I'll let y'all know in the intro, and that's how I'm gonna run the show for the foreseeable future, man. So when I come back, Nick Goodman, Eric Sigmund, and we rec leaguing, baby. All right, movie time. Normally, in a normal world where COVID hasn't affected everything, since I've reformatted, this is the first episode where I'm kind of like shaking things up a little bit. To start every movie segment off, I'm just going to talk about new theatrical releases, new DVD and Blu-ray releases, but it ain't really a lot of that right now. Like, that Liam Neeson movie comes out next weekend. The Marksman, WandaVision comes out next weekend. That M. Night Shyamalan show that's on Apple TV comes out with season 2 next weekend. Did I miss anything? I think Promising Young Woman is gonna be available to like rent on your TV next weekend, and News of the World. I got my regulars: Nick Goodman, E Sig. Um, I don't think that Guy Ritchie movie's coming out next weekend, but
No, you mentioned that on something, and I was like, I don't even know what that is.
yeah, no trailers. I don't even think it has any social media accounts. But man, first episode of the year, we normally do first quarter, but I think first quarter is pointless. So just wanted to do like three most anticipated for the year for 2021. Just how the schedule's sitting right now, because it might not even come out. I don't think my number one's gonna come out, but it's scheduled right now. So I'm not gonna do my three that I did on YouTube, because I don't want to do movies that were originally scheduled for 2020, because we talked about those last year. So how I'm gonna do what was originally set for 2021. So Eric, start us off however you want to go at number 3.
Now, I guess y'all could tell me if I think it's getting a limited theatrical release, But I guess it wouldn't matter since most of the stuff is coming to streaming anyway, right? I'm going with Nick's favorite, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Woo! Yeah, totally.
I didn't know that was coming out. Complete sarcasm.
So convinced.
There was that. Convinced about what?
I mean, have they I could be just late. Have they given it a date yet?
March.
Yeah, Snyder said
Right.
March.
Mm-hmm.
That's just I don't like that.
Yeah, March, and they've announced the video release. So I think it's the ball is rolling.
Did they really do that too? I keep seeing people I'm so excited. I was like, did they announce this or is this you?
I don't know.
About the video, I don't know officially, but I've been seeing artwork but it's still that generic picture with the side
it's
profile.
Just the poster with the 4K thing.
Yeah.
Of course, we know the Snyder Cut is coming, but I kind of feel like it's like Lethal Weapon 5. Like Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Richard Donner, they're talking about it. Warner Brothers isn't saying shit. And this kind of feels the same way. Like, we know Justice League is coming. We know the Snyder Cut's coming. But it's all like cast and Snyder himself like giving the info, and like Warner Brothers isn't confirming anything.
Yeah, they'll probably just do a big marketing dump.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks before it premieres on their streaming. But yeah, they said, like you said, all the news is basically coming from the filmmakers. But yeah, it is officially done. And we'll see what happens with it. Unfortunately, there's a bit of controversy around it. But the Ray Fisher and all the other stuff, the Josh Whedon, and Gail Gadot actually spoke on it. They asked her about the controversy. She said her schedule was different from the others during the reshoots.
Okay.
During the Josh Whedon version of reshoots, to make it clear, she said she had an issue with him. With Whedon, and she pulled him to the side and she handled it, and then she took it up and told them about it. So yeah, it's
look, you would never do this with Scarlett Johansson. Don't pull this shit with me.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's a frightening conversation. I think I could see her being really angry.
But now, curious about how this is gonna turn out. The mini-series format.
Oh yeah.
4 parts. And
are they putting it all out at one time? Have they said, or is it going to be a week? Because I can't deal with that.
I would assume. Yeah, it'd be week to week.
Yeah, they want to maximize as many. Yeah, I would imagine they do it like that, but
yeah, I haven't heard anything.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
But no, that's my number 3. I guess as far as marketing and stuff goes, it's kind of weak, but it is gonna happen, and I'm still curious with it. But yeah, that's my number 3
for sure. Nick, what you got?
All right, I always have a thing. I just every time we do a top 3 or top 5, I always have a thing, and I'm always bullshit. But normal, in a normal year, like you said, my number 1 would be this Spider-Man 3 that is allegedly in a normal year that would be my number 1 easily. But I'm just not convinced at all that it's coming out in 2021. And all I've heard is it's just reports, reportedly this and this. I've seen next to no set pictures or any actual news. So I'm just I have no faith that it's coming out. Normally that would be number 1, but it's not going to be in my top 3. And then I was that basically means my top 3 is going to be the same as last year, but maybe 1 difference. So my number 3 now, to include something that I think is actually going to come out, I'll say the Suicide Squad, just because everybody talks shit on the other Suicide Squad movie. I think it
many times over.
Good. I think it has a lot of good stuff in it that works. I think the potential for a great Suicide Squad movie is there. Even with just those elements from that movie. So now that they're borrowing elements from that movie, bringing back characters, bringing back actors, with James Gunn, it the potential for this to be the best DCEU movie is
And being R-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah, being R-rated. Like, it has the potential to be the best of all these DC movies, to me. I don't know if anyone else was thinking that. And probably rightfully so. Like, maybe they're just, like, not that excited for it. But I'm real excited. And we've got footage. We haven't gotten a trailer yet, but there is footage, and there was a lot of, like, over the summer, a lot of, like...
Dude, they've already announced that John Cena spinoff.
Like, yeah, like, there was a lot of effort into announcing... It's like you said, Warner Brothers really isn't saying anything about the Justice League Snyder Cut. Nobody's really saying anything about Spider-Man 3. There's a lot of, like, effort being put into the Suicide Squad. Like, oh, this is coming, and you're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. We're doing this. Here's everybody in their costumes. Look how silly they look. And, like, the cast is so, like, weird.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's that
like,
James Gunn
like,
quirk.
You read the cast, and everybody was like, why is Pete Davidson in this movie? I was like, it's gonna be so funny. Like, he's out of place, like, with everyone else. And, like, it's gonna be great. So... I'll put that as my number 3, since it is a 2021 movie.
Going off, yeah. Going off what I have on my list scheduled for 2021 originally, Suicide Squad just missed the cut. But yeah, it's just like, as amazing as those two Guardians of the Galaxy movies are, with the potential of Suicide Squad, yeah, like this, my whole top 5 DCEU list could get like rearranged this year. So my number 3 is also the Snyder Cut, and it's just to see his original vision before Warner Brothers butchered it and made Flash fall into Wonder Woman's cleavage and adding the humor and something's broken and Black Suit Superman, Darkseid. The trailer was amazing. I don't know, man, because like I'm the oddball in this group. Like, Zack Snyder's DC movies are my favorite of the universe, so I have this already as low as number 3, and being able to watch it like all 4 hours straight, just hopefully it does come out in March and there's no delays and Snyder's not blowing smoke too early. And like I said,
weird to me that there's not a date. Like, that's like, you're like, yeah, March.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Give me a date. Like, give me a date with a number. It would probably, I don't know if it'd move up, because I'm excited for it. I just don't like when I'm like 2021 movies. I'm not like Justice League again. Like, I think that's the only reason I put on that Twitter thing. Like, that's the only reason I want to get my hopes up twice for the same movie.
Yeah, that's what I said on YouTube. I may never watch the theatrical Justice League again. Anytime I'm doing a DC binge, I'll 4 hours sit through the Snyder Cut every time.
Yeah, like if it's great. There's a lot of people that insist that the Batman versus Superman extended cut is like way better. It's better.
Yeah.
Like, it's arguably better. There's a lot of stuff in it that's like really cool, but it's like sometimes I'm not gonna just sit through a 3-hour Batman versus Superman. Like, sometimes I just want a 2.5-hour Batman versus Superman. Like, I don't need the subplots.
The extended cut is, it's not just longer. They also put back a little acts of violence, if you want to call it that. It's rated R. People forget that little fact.
Yeah,
more brutality in it.
The extended cut of Suicide Squad is nothing. Like,
for sure.
I honestly think it hurts the movie. Like, when I were buying it, coming home and like watching it, and I was so stoked. And like, the added scenes are like, they're like potholes. Like, it's like you're just watching your dumb movie, and then all of a sudden it's like, here's the Joker like in a car or something, like, in the streets, and I was like, this is dumb.
You cried for more Joker, so here's more Joker. Fuck the flow of the plot.
Backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
I
think
the scenes we saw in the trailer. We didn't want some random shit.
I think DC gave us an extended cut of Suicide Squad just because they gave us an extended cut of BVS.
They're right.
Yeah,
that's crap.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't the ultimate cut. It was just like the extended edition.
Yeah.
There's like a scene or two. Here's Harley having like another flashback in the middle of a scene where it makes no sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think Justice League will be better than that. And I'm, it's going to be like the Donner cut or something like that. Like, it's going to be like a way different thing.
Yeah, I completely expected a completely different movie.
Yeah. I'm just like cautious about it. I'm like, I'm excited and I'm like first in line to watch it. But I'm just like,
come on, Nick.
My heart has been broken by Justice League once.
Join the team,
Not
Nick.
even really. That's another thing. Like, I don't hate the theatrical Justice League as much as everyone else does.
Yeah.
Either. Like, I just don't think it's that bad. It's just like choppy. Like, they just made it 2 hours and they cut out.
I'll be honest. I commend them for it being as okay as it was to get the behind the scenes and to put
all things considered. Like,
good job. It was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, given the fact what the gumbo that they made out of what they had and what he was doing and the tone difference, it's surprising that it just wasn't.
Yeah, I really
still
don't.
Better than some actual movies that was filmed from beginning to end the way they were supposed to be filmed. I'm not gonna name any names, but
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Eric, what you got at number 2?
Oh boy.
Did you take my pick again?
Again? Oh, hopefully not. But number 2, I've been waiting on this one, and I wish they recently released a teaser trailer, and I'm like Kevin Garnett and Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Like, why are you showing it to me if I can't freaking have it? And Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
In October, all the way in October now. It's January now. And if something happens to where that won't come out in October, we're in for a hell of a year.
Yes.
And I'm really, and they just released, I don't know if you all saw this, a new still of Michael Myers.
It kind of looks like in the first one when he's at the top of the staircase in the original.
Yeah, it's that one, and they released I think 2, but it looks, my excitement for that is just I like what the writers and the directors have, the fact that they resurrected the series and it pumped integrity back into it after the last ones.
I wasn't paying attention, but was his mask all like charred and fire stained and shit?
It was burnt and he was just messy and But yeah, and I like and it's just like, oh man, the movie is completely done. Like everything is rated. The score is done. Carpenter and his people, they did the score again. And like, boy, yeah, I just can't wait. Hopefully this Halloween we can actually go outside and trick or treat. Without worrying about.
God, I hope.
But no, that's my number 2. Really.
I remember when there's a Taylor for the phrase. I remember when Halloween Resurrection came out, and I was like, I don't know, I was probably like 13 or something. I was the age where I was like, that was when I was the most obsessed with slasher movies. So I was like watching anything and everything, and like anytime a new one was coming out, like that, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, like I was like, oh my god, this is great, even though they weren't.
Busta Rhymes doing karate, amazing.
Like it ends with him like in a burning house. And he gets taken to the morgue or whatever, and his mask is all burnt. It's like you can see his face, and like he opens his eyes. I remember for the longest time like being like, oh, they're gonna bring him back, and his mask's gonna be fucked up. And then like they didn't, and I was always like, oh, missed opportunity.
Then Rob
now
Zombie.
it looked like I do that, and I feel like I should get paid. Great idea. It's a great idea.
Oh man, but yeah, that's it for my number 2. Can't really say much about it because we don't know anything.
Right.
Except
like two movies that
movie did they film? Is the third movie even filmed? I don't know.
There's like 2 movies that were supposed to come out last year that I really hope get to come out this year are Halloween and Candyman.
Yeah. That was
fuck yes, like
yeah. So
when is Candyman supposed to come out now?
Yeah, what's that?
I think the end of August. I think the end of August.
Okay. I can't keep up. Because it was summer, then they pushed it to October, back when everybody was like optimistic.
Yeah, August 27th.
Now no one's optimistic. It's really sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just zapped all of all the optimism out of it.
Nick, what you got?
All right. My number 2 and number 1 are both movies that were supposed to come out last year and did not.
Of course.
There's like most of them. Like I could have just made my top 10 of just those. Like I'm really excited for Top Gun. I'm really excited for Spiral, which everyone's forgot about Spiral. Yeah. I'm really excited about. But number 2, just because like I was ready to go and like it just didn't happen, was No Time to Die, which I feel like we need to talk about more. It's like they're not keeping it hyped. It's like they don't know what to do with it. Like it's supposed to come out in or whatever, and they're just like, we don't know. Yeah. But like it looks so good. It's like Daniel Craig's last movie as James Bond, apparently. And like the song was super good. It's like since last year, like they did all this hype. Like I had my ticket for it. That would piss me off. Like
that sucks.
It was like a day or two after I bought my ticket was when they pulled it and said,
you bought your Fast 9 ticket too, right?
Yo, yeah, I bought my Fast 9 ticket in like January, and it was like the day the trailer came out. They were like, "Your ticket's here," and I was like, "Well, let me get my seat."
I think it was like the Super Bowl trailer, right?
Yeah, it was like that one. Everybody watched the trailer, and at the end of the trailer, they were like, "Get your tickets now, 5 months in advance." I was like, "Watch me do that."
Because in February, like there was shit going on across the world.
Yeah. Fuck. Like that's another one. Like I'm really excited for Fast and Furious.
Fuck 2020.
Yeah. But I'll say like of all the movies that were supposed to come out, like I'll keep I think number 2 last year was Wonder Woman. We got that. So I'll keep my No Time to Die just because it looks great. I thought like all the trailers for it were like really good.
Yeah.
Even still. Like even when they like delayed it and they were like, well, here's another trailer. I was like, that trailer was great. It wasn't like here's something we slapped together for you. But yeah, I got to keep that at number 2 just because I was like ready to go. That and A Quiet Place. I think I had my Quiet Place 2 ticket. Oh man. I had a Mulan ticket. Like I had a whole bunch of stuff. Like I had to get money back. I got like $100 and some back. Fandango or whatever. Yeah, I'll keep that at number 2.
So, No Time to Die. That'll be in. I guess put that on the wall. That's the first movie to get officially delayed.
Yeah, I did it was like right after that. It was like A Quiet Place, Fast and the Furious. Yeah. Like we're all the same day, and like by the end of the day, New Mutants was like off the schedule again, and everybody's like,
you know what's crazy? Correct me if I'm wrong on this. Because Fast 9, they said F it. They delayed it a year right out the gate.
Yeah, it was an entire year.
So what did they know?
Universal got insider fucking information.
Because everybody else delayed it a couple of months, and a couple of months they said, a year. Wait.
Yeah. I remember we got on the podcast, we were talking about like somebody said something about like this shit might go till like September, and we were like, what? Shut up, dude! Don't put that bad karma on us.
Man, that's
God.
Crazy. Oh man. Yeah, I remember. Man, Quiet Place. Man, my wife was pissed that came out a birthday weekend, or was supposed to in March.
Yeah. 2020 had so much potential to be like a really good movie year.
If I was to keep 2020 in this video, No Time to Die would have been 2, A Quiet Place would have been 3. But keeping it original 2021, my number 2 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And this is a Marvel character I know nothing about. I just think it's very cool that the MCU is going to have a Kung Fu movie. I don't think it will, but I think it could like reference the original Iron Man, possibly Iron Man 3. I think I'm going to do an Iron Man binge before this comes out for absolutely no reason. Just Iron Man. How do you pronounce dude's name? Simi Liu, that's playing Shang-Chi.
That's how I pronounced it. So if it's
All
not
right, well,
right.
shit. You the resident kung fu guy on the podcast.
No, I think that is it. But yeah,
He comes off like real humble, like about to be a star, and he just comes off like super cool. I think Aquafina's in it. The dude, I can't think of the dude's name who's playing the legit Mandarin. Finally,
yeah.
But yeah, like I want to see how they tie this dude into the MCU. How like what could the post credit scene be that like connects him to the Avengers? I don't know. Like that's what I love about the MCU. How they just bring in new characters and then just find that loophole to connect everything.
That's another one. I'm just not convinced it's coming out. I thought about this a lot. I was like, ooh, Shang-Chi, Eternals, like all these movies, Venom, and I was like, I've heard nothing about it other than like they're coming. I was like, I've been duped by life before. I'm wiser
and
than
that's
I was.
crazy. And like
none of my 3 are coming out.
And Marvel, the movie you named, they have at least, if you want to count the Sony Marvel movies, they got at least 4 movies in the can.
Like sitting there, ready to go. Yeah.
Are we counting Morbius and Venom?
That's
like 7.
Morbius is set in the world. I feel like everyone is just ignoring that. Like they're like, well, it's Sony. I'm like, yeah, but
Michael Keaton's in it. I think getting off on the regular one episode tangent, every episode tangent. I think they blew their load too early. Showing Michael Keaton in that trailer before anything was even buzzing about Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
But also, you got to think that was before the pandemic, and they probably had whole nother plan, you know?
Yeah.
That might be all they have in the movie, too. That might be like, that's the only thing we're allowed to have that connects this to Far From Home. Here's Michael Keaton. My dad was real confused about that. Like, he was like, what are you doing? He's in another one? And I was like, no, he's the same, right? He's the Vulture again. And he was like, God damn, he's I was like, no, he's the same character.
Shang-Chi. But yeah, it's like, and that's crazy. It's it's impossible for people to remember. And the people that don't want to admit it are liars. That, in 2008, that Iron Man was not a popular character. People couldn't even tell you who Iron Man was. Like Tony Stark. You say Tony Stark, who the hell is that?
Ghostface Killer?
My girlfriend, she had no idea what it was. Like I was biting my nails. I was like, finally, this is such a like obscure-ish thing. Right. But it was like the year after Ghost Rider, and I just remember like that masterpiece. But
and if you were,
I was like, finally, they're like branching out a little bit with these comic book characters.
And if you were a movie person, you know who Robert Downey Jr. was. But even back then, he wasn't. You know what he is now. He was coming out of his personal issues and all that. But
I wish I could remember my mindset like pre-Iron Man, because I knew of Iron Man, but I really knew of just like the '90s animated series.
Yeah, and that's what most people that we knew. But anyway, I like that they're doing that with this, and I would hope that Marvel Studios have had this whole year off, and I mean, look how they did stuff. They had a general, I guess, outline of where they were going with the Infinity Saga, right? And a lot of that stuff was improvised and written as they were going. But imagine what have they done with this year off to fine-tune where they're going now. You know what I mean?
I'm, like, concerned. I feel like I'm more concerned than everyone else. Because it was like last year, you know, the pandemic just ravaged everything, and we didn't get an MCU movie. We didn't get it, but like over the summer, they announced this whole slate of movies. They were like, fuck yeah, how about some Blade? How about some Black Panther 2? We were like, whoa, really? Like, and so then none of that came out. Like, you know, they had to delay everything.
Everything.
And then like, you know, a few weeks ago,
here's some more.
Instead of just being like, oh, everything's coming, we've got set dates, they just announced 1,000 more things. They were just like, here's 1,000 more shows and like 18 new movies, and I'm like concerned. I was like, thought to this, or is this just like things you want to do 20 years down the line.
So what's the order that they're coming out? Like Shang and Black Widow.
Well, WandaVision comes out next week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier in March. Apparently, Black Widow tentatively that first Friday in May.
Mm-hmm.
Loki's supposed to be in the summer somewhere.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi is the first weekend in July.
July 9th.
Yeah.
I thought that's my birthday.
Eternals is November. Spider-Man is mid-December.
No,
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'm just saying, as far as it's scheduled right now.
Interesting. And there's rumors, I don't know, it's been, as far as the internet is concerned, the whole damn world has been cast in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I'm over those jokes.
Like, God, dog. And there's a rumor, you don't know what to believe, because like we were saying about most of the stuff we've been talking about, nothing has been official, that Tobey Maguire is being a diva.
I can see it.
And about pay and stuff like that.
I can see it.
I believe nothing.
Yeah, I hope not. But
he didn't come back for the Boss Baby 2 because he wanted a CG live action version of himself.
Oh man, but yeah, your original pick, Randy. I really can't wait for that. The first official kung fu flick from MCU. Yeah.
Now we at number one.
Like, wasn't the original order supposed to be Black Widow, Eternals?
Yeah.
Then
Shang-Chi was supposed to be next month originally.
Yeah. So like,
how are these post-credit sequences gonna?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Be affected.
It's gonna be inconsequential to the bigger story.
Or they probably just switched them out or something.
Yeah. I'm sure Feige knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
No, we said this about Joss Whedon. He took over the Justice League. Well, it's like he did the Avengers movies. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, well, we had no reason to believe it.
Sadly.
Fine. It's gonna be great. He knows what
carried his personal problems into it. Oh man.
But anyway.
No, Feige slid him an extra check to just go fuck up that Justice League movie. Everybody knows. Number one. E-Money.
Oh man. It's
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. No. It's actually something. Nostalgia is playing a lot in this pick, and like nostalgia. But what's that? But
yeah, what nostalgia plays into a new movie?
The Ghostbusters nostalgia.
Okay, you got me.
And yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm real curious.
Just punch me in the mouth.
What's that?
Just punch me in the mouth.
But yeah, the Reitmans. You got Jason, who's directing and writing it, and even Ivan from the original Ghostbusters movies involved in it, and yeah, the original cast is back in some type of capacity. They even got Bill Murray.
No trailer, no believe you.
Yeah, no, I'm here on that one.
No set proof, no believe.
Yeah, but no, like what they did with the original teaser trailer. I guess they were working up to something, but yeah, I
loved that trailer.
Yeah,
it's a good trailer. I miss it. It's like I watched it like once or twice, and then the movie disappeared.
Yeah, and that seems to be like a running theme with everything. Oh yeah, and of course anything with Paul Rudd in it, cannot be horrible or bad at all, in my opinion. But yeah, it's
Halloween 6.
Halloween.
Well, that's Paul Rudd before he was Paul. Yeah. No, he went by not a different name. It was Paul something Rudd.
Paul
Rudd.
He used the middle name, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's my movie, and yeah, it's just, and especially after now the 2016 Ghostbusters. Once again, it gets a lot of unnecessary hate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible movie. It's a very.
I agree.
It's not a terrible movie, but it's nowhere near as good as it should have been with that cast and that crew. You know what I mean?
It's a weird reboot of the property, but
right on both
movie, I think it's like fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah, and yeah, it's not bad.
That's always been my stance.
during that year, in a year where Independence Day resurgence exists, I can't
I'm
call
sorry.
Ghostbusters 2016 terrible.
No shit.
I think I saw those 2 weeks in a row.
Ugh.
That's true.
But yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with that. And it's everything is. I think everything we talked about has just been quiet. Like
I saw The Secret Life of Pets in that stretch.
Oh yeah, it was a weird year. It was kind of a good movie year, 2016.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yes and yes.
But
yeah,
my number one.
Number one was gonna be something else, but I'll let you go ahead. I want to steal it.
Oh yeah. mine is the same as last year. Like whenever we did this, like I can't I still got Black Widow at number one, just because I'm like, even like looking at like the MCU movies that are like on the slate, like ready to go. I'm still like looking at the one, like we've had a year now with no MCU movie for like the first time since 2009.
I cried myself to sleep for 12 straight months.
Yeah, like it's fine. Like I feel like after Endgame and then Spider-Man, it was like maybe we needed a break. But I'm still looking at like the fact, I said this last year, like the fact that they put Black Widow out after Endgame.
Yeah.
I just like can't get past like they had to have done that for a reason. It can't just be, even if the reason is just to like bid farewell to the character. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Endgame and you're listening. Even if it's just like to bid farewell to the character, like one final bow by showing you like something she did. Or like it could potentially be that, I don't know. Like to me, there's just like so much. I have so many questions that I want Black Widow to answer the movie that I'm like, I don't have really any Eternals questions. Like I'm like, I was just gonna be like, oh, what's next? Like what's that gonna set up? That's gonna be cool. Like Black Widow, I'm like, is she still alive? What is the importance of this? Showing me this years old thing. Like who are these characters and what role are they gonna play? So I'm keeping it at number one. I feel like it's gonna come out this year. Maybe are those? Oh, I was like, are those paws? Even if it doesn't keep the May date, I feel like Disney are gonna put it out this year.
Like what's the exact date? May what? I'm sorry.
I think 7th
or 7th. It's supposed to be like the kickoff again.
Yeah.
With the Marvel birthdays. May 7th, that's my birthday. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm hoping they keep it like that as the kickoff movie. But even if they don't, I feel like it's gonna come out this year, one way or another. So I have to like stay true to my number one pick because it didn't come out last year.
Yeah, that's true.
That's stuff. Like it just didn't happen. I was waiting. I think they should just do what I heard about with the Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
My understanding, I could be wrong, but I saw the poster that said in theaters and Disney Plus Premier Access.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking that means it'll be in theaters, or you have the option to pay $20 or $30 for it on Disney Plus. If that's the case, I'll just go to the theater.
Right.
That's great. I mean, I'll pay less money and get to see it in a theater. But I think they should just do that. Disney should just do that with all their releases for 2021.
Like another studio.
Like maybe I just don't know the business. Maybe I just don't understand. But like to me, it's like you should have to pay for it. Like you shouldn't be able to just like Soul should have cost me money to watch. That movie was like incredible. Like I should have had to pay extra to watch that movie. I'm glad that it came on and I've watched it like 3 times already. But I should have had to pay to watch that like extra, like I did Mulan. So I think they should just cut the price, make it like $20, and just allow you to watch it on Disney Plus or in the theater.
I'd pay to watch Soul again.
That's like I would have paid, and then I would have watched it, but like holy shit, and then like probably paid to watch it again, or like maybe not.
I'd pay triple to get a Blu-ray slipcover.
Yeah. Anyway, Black Widow.
I don't want to do my number one. Nick said it's not coming out.
I have zero faith, but maybe I'm.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the year of hope.
My number one Spider-Man 3, and it's not because of all the stupid rumors. I can't talk about Spider-Man 3 without spoiling Spider-Man Homecoming.
Excuse me.
I mean Spider-Man Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah.
So if you haven't seen Far From Home, then turn us off. We'll see you next time. Like I said, I don't care about Tobey Maguire. I don't care about Andrew Garfield. I don't care about Matt Murdock. I don't care about all the unconfirmed Spider-Man. Everybody that's ever existed in a Marvel movie ever is going to be in this. I care about Peter clearing his name from being framed for killing Mysterio. That's what I want to know. Whether it's Kraven the Hunter coming in to kill him, to hunt him down, turn him in, whatever the case. Whether he gets put on trial, She-Hulk pops up, Daredevil pops up to help him clear his name. Like that's what I want. That's why I'm excited for this movie. J. Jonah Jameson on his ass, but he's still in high school though. So I don't now like. Can they ever like go that route where Peter's like the freelance photographer?
And
maybe he goes into a different dimension where he's not.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like that's the multiverse.
Yeah, we were gonna
do a bunch of stuff. It's like no, I'm just going over here, so I'm not in trouble.
We've got Jamie Foxx confirmed. We've got Alfred Molina confirmed. So whatever they're setting up with the villains is gonna be cool. Supposedly they're not gonna be like, cause Jamie Foxx supposedly like let it leak that he wasn't gonna be Blue, so maybe he's gonna be an alternate version of Electro.
You're right.
That's cool. That's super fucking cool. Like Jamie Foxx is one of the most entertaining actors I've watched ever, and I would love to see him as this character again, as a different version again. Alfred Molina has to be a different version again because Sam Raimi killed him.
Oh yeah.
So what?
I'm trying to picture Jamie Foxx wearing that green and yellow suit with like a mask.
Boss Logic did like some cool art when it was first announced. Maybe it was Boss Logic. I don't know where I saw it, but still.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it was probably like a Project Power, still like done up to look like Electro.
I just have no faith. Like I don't know why.
Yeah, like I fully expected to get pushed.
Yeah, I've got little faith in the movie as a whole. Like I just feel like you said, it's like blowing their load. Like I'm just like, all this stuff is coming out. It's almost like, in the '90s, like when they were talking about another Batman movie, and they were like, Batman Triumphant or whatever it was going to be called. Like they had all these ideas. That
Schumacher wanted to go back dark.
Like all the old bad guys were going to come back, and Nicolas Cage was going to be the Scarecrow, and all this shit. And like they were just like talking, like it was just talk. Like they just never made the movie. That's what I'm like worried about. I was like, we're just talking and talking.
They were probably spitballing ideas until Batman and Robin bombed.
Right. Yeah, I read that he talked to Nicolas Cage about being the Scarecrow. Like he was so ready to like just get going, and then it just didn't happen. Same with like Tim Burton's Superman movie, also with Nicolas Cage. But it's just like they had all this shit, and then they were just like, no.
Let's do 8mm.
Yeah, but from the Superman, Tim Burton one, where they were literally days away from.
He did suit test
filming, and they actually had some sets built, but they were like, yeah, it's gonna be. Somebody forgot to ask what the budget was.
$500 million.
Like they were just like, hey, is this a bad idea? Like, are we gonna like go bankrupt making this movie?
Yeah, but I hope
probably people can see it.
Yeah, but it's gonna turn into one of those things. I'm surprised people haven't been talking about it. That maybe the Spider-Man 3 movies are cursed, or just bad luck. Because but no, I don't think so. But Spider-Man 3, the Sam Raimi one,
I won't allow it.
Is once again, that's not a terrible movie. They just and this is what I'm worried about with the Tom Holland one, is them throwing too much stuff in.
Sony wants their live action Spider-Verse. I think, dude, I think it'll be like 2.5 hours long. I think it'll be 2 hours of cleaning up Far From Home, and it'll be 30 minutes of setting up Sony's Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it got to be something like that.
I've got faith that, like, I have faith that they can juggle characters. Like, after watching Infinity War, I think that's why I hold Infinity War in like real high regard, even compared to like Endgame.
Yeah,
I was like,
amazing.
look at that Infinity War poster, and like they put everyone on the poster, and I remember looking at the poster thinking, wow, that's amazing, and then being like, how the fuck are they even going to do this movie? Like, all these people are in the movie, and they're all in the movie, and they all serve a purpose in the movie, and there's like not a thing that I'm like, he didn't need to be there. Like, Falcon needed to be there, you know, the Shuri needed to be there. Like, they all needed to be in the movie doing what they were doing. So I kind of have faith that they can juggle the characters as long as the script makes sense. Whereas opposed to like Spider-Man 3 from 2007, like, you know,
kids like Venom.
Need to
use Venom.
Yeah, they were like, we need Sandman for some reason. There has to be a reason for him to be there. Make one. And it was like,
exactly.
no.
But they need to hire whoever that editor for Infinity War was, because they.
Oh yeah.
The award season is coming up. That'll probably be one of my picks for Oscar snubs. Is the film editing for Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like the pace is like perfect.
Yes.
It's like boom, boom, boom. Everybody, because it's like at one time, it's probably 4 different storylines happening at the most, and 3 at the least. When they all, like, yeah, it's just.
You think about like characters in that movie, and you're like, Wanda and Vision were in that movie. Like, I guess like they were in that movie. There's a whole subplot about them in the movie. Like, there's a whole scene just about them in Germany or wherever they are hiding. I can't remember. Like, there's a whole thing, and like you're interested. It's like, oh, this is where they've been, and they've got to meet up with who, and it's like that's like their main purpose in that movie. It's like, oh, there's Falcon. The only person that isn't in it is Hawkeye, but it's like there's a reason he's not in it.
Yeah.
Him and Ant.
Right. Yeah,
so it's like
that. But yeah, and like you said, the script, they got to get the script right, because as well with the awesome editing in Infinity War, every scene serves a purpose to take you to the next one. It's not just like, oh, look who else is in the movie. No, it's a reason, like you said.
The people they didn't put in it, like I said, like Hawkeye, Ant-Man, what's her name from Ragnarok? It was like she could have been in it, but she wouldn't have really served that big purpose in it. Like, she would have just been there. And so they were like, instead of having her just be there, let's just save her for the next one.
Yeah.
She'll show up. It'll be great.
But I don't know. Everything is speculation about the new Spider-Man movie, and my thing is, my speculation is
they'll save it till summer to confirm anything.
Right. I think Marvel Studios is waiting to the very last minute to see if they can get those other big names.
Yeah.
And I think because they did the same thing, we forget. Remember Civil War, Captain America?
Spider-Man, Black Panther.
Yes, they commissioned 2 different scripts. For, like you said, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Because Robert Downey Jr. was working on a separate contract. That wasn't part of his main contract.
Yeah.
And literally Tom Holland didn't know he was hired.
Yeah.
Didn't he find that on social media?
I don't know about that.
Because he's like
he talks.
His lips. Yeah.
But
like,
yeah,
holy
I think,
fuck, guys, read the script. And they're like, oh no.
But no, I'm I'm hoping, but I don't think it's coming out 2021 unless
y'all are super killing my vibe.
We're not trying to try to be realistic. But what is it, January? They talk about December. It's totally possible.
That's the thing. Last year when we were talking about like the movies, right when the coronavirus was hitting, like we were not thinking long term at all. Like I remember somebody said something, like Randy, I think it was you, said like your wife's was like they were preparing for it to last like through September or like through the fall, and we were like, no, shut up, dude. Like, no way. Like, this is just gonna dip into the summer and fuck up our summer.
How dumb
now
were we?
All the way. Like, I'm thinking to Scream 5 in January. Like, I'm like, as long as nothing fucks that up in a year. Like, I'm thinking way ahead. I'm so much more pessimistic than I was.
I had heard this shit could run like 18 months. So yeah, like if the vaccine actually like works and it can get spread throughout the world, I don't see why everything couldn't be okay by like September.
They need to do that Amazing Spider-Man thing where they put in shoot it up.
Yeah. the lizard thing.
Shit. They're like, why would you do this? It's like so I can watch movies. It's all I want. It's all I need.
But whatever does happen, and hopefully the positive thing happens, the industry is gonna be changed forever.
Yup.
And I mean, look what is it? It's I think it's the new Thor movie. They announced we saw what's his name? Like Chris Pratt and a couple of other actors. A
few Guardians showed up on set, right?
Yeah. So I like how they're doing it, and hopefully they're doing 2 weeks quarantine, and they're gonna go straight into shooting the movie. Everybody, cast and crew, is doing it. They like rented out an entire hotel or something.
Good.
And hopefully everybody does what they're supposed to do, and you won't have any incidents. Kevin Feige cursing everybody out like Tom Cruise did.
Christian Bale's not going to quarantine.
That's what I was saying. Isn't Mission Impossible supposed to come out this year?
Oh man!
Like,
can you imagine if somebody breaks quarantine and Christian Bale finds out?
Next year.
Yeah, see, I can't even remember. That's not coming out. There's too many people like
Top
breaking
Gun,
quarantine and stuff over there.
Top Gun is June. Mission Impossible is November.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mission Impossible Part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Top Gun will come out. I don't have faith in don't have faith in Mission Impossible coming out. Although they are filming it.
Mission Impossible 7. Cruise Rant.
Yeah. I loved that. That's my favorite song of the year.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if somebody on set of Guardians 3 breaks quarantine and Christian Bale finds out about that shit?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in it.
Murder them.
Oh man.
Good.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
Because supposedly a lot of productions have been shut down in LA because LA is having a spike in cases.
Yeah, I read one recently. I feel like it was like a high profile one. They like stopped it for a bit. What was it? Damn it. I can't remember anything.
You're not good at remembering today.
Yeah, I'm not good at thinking.
But yeah, I don't know, people, we seem, I mean, is everybody a little less not enthused? I mean, because we get off this thing and watch they pushed every single movie we named.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible because the way things have been going.
I just feel like they've had a year to like find a rhythm.
To game plan a release,
every movie should come out simultaneously. I think, they should come out in theaters and on demand or like whatever to pay for it. Like you should have to pay for them. Even though it sucks, you should have to pay for the movie. And like they should just all make a deal with like theaters. Like keep theaters running.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable going to the theater, don't go. Like it's fine. Like you don't go. I've been to the theater multiple times and like it's fine. Like
still
every
alive.
time. Like everybody sits apart and there's really not a lot of people ever in a theater. Anyway.
Yeah, that's
but that's just me. Like some people just aren't, and that makes sense. That's fine.
Yeah, unfortunately, these suits, they want to squeeze every freaking, and I think that's a reason why they would do it. But it comes down to making those type of deals and making those contracts. If there were four big wigs in an executive office, they'll be in there for 8 hours because they all don't want to go 25. They all don't want to split the 100 pie and go 25 each. Because, like, look, we're in the same amount.
Ego.
Because in terms of the movie itself making money, it seems like, oh yeah, that would make the most sense. Just release it simultaneously. Like whoever wants to do this, they'd be like, oh, sweetie, no. It's like a movie like Monster Hunter, like would have made more money if it was available on demand as well as the theater. I think Land would have made more money if it was available in theaters as well as on demand. But they just both were kind of there, not making their potential money.
Yeah, it's all nuts with this.
Maybe I don't understand.
You want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
That's the suits in the room. Like,
Yeah.
Releasing news of the world.
But as far as the safety and all that, going back to the filming and stuff, and we mentioned the precautions they're taking, and using a sports example, I think Randy know where I'm going with this one.
Oh, Nick's checked out.
No, he's even heard of this. The last quarter, not even half of the NBA season, they did the bubble.
Yeah.
Not a single case. You know what I mean? You know how many people on that how many teams, people, staff? Not one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who was it that played yesterday that only had like 8 play? Was it the Pacers?
No, it was the Philadelphia 76ers had like 7 guys.
Oh. Yeah, it was like they had 8 playable people.
Yeah,
like
they dressed 8, but they played 7.
Mm-mm.
And they were looking for that I'm special loophole for the league to cut them a break.
Yeah, and it's just nuts, people, and yeah, you know, everybody got to do their part, and like Goofball went to the strip club.
Lou Williams,
probably a bunch of them, but what'd you say?
Lou Williams from the Clippers.
No, this season.
Shit.
Harden.
James Harden, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, dude.
He's trying to knucklehead his way out of Houston. He's trying to like push them into I'm a troublemaker, trade me.
Yeah,
because he wants out.
Yeah, it's plenty of ways to do that without jeopardizing other people's safety.
Yeah,
but just using that, I mean,
no. Had I been Adam Silver, Harden would be suspended for the season.
Yeah. Yeah, you got. It sounds harsh, but you gotta make that type of example.
Exactly.
And people are talking about going back to the movies. Tom Cruise snapping on the crew the way he was. I'm like, why wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't go like I don't surf a lot of like Twitter reaction because no matter what, if it's movies, sports, music, politics,
it's always gonna be somebody defending the BS.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, like Tom Cruise was anything but a diva actor going off on a crew member.
Yeah. There were a lot of people that like, I don't care what the situation is. You don't ever talk to someone in the workplace like this. I was like, that's your workplace.
Yeah.
I was like, that, not to say that it's appropriate to, conduct is conduct.
Yeah.
But like, you're talking about, something at your retail job, your office job, whatever, your boss shouldn't talk to you that way if you do something. Like Tom Cruise being the actor and the producer of this billion-dollar franchise with billions of dollars in the mix. That's like, you can't relate to that. You cannot relate to that.
And also the context of it was multiple infractions or whatever you want to call
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a group of people. He wasn't just yelling at like one guy, like, why did you do this? He was yelling at a group of people who were like caught, breaking the rules. And it's like, no one else is taking it that seriously. That's what he said. He doesn't want, that production gets shut down. That costs money.
Yeah,
like,
it still bleeds money.
Like money. That's like big money that people that are like, I don't care, let you do. It's like, you can't even relate to that amount of money being in the balance of like, So I was like, nah, that doesn't bother me. Doesn't surprise me. It's not like he's yelling at somebody.
The circumstances are different, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not saying disrespect your employees. No, it's the context and the circumstances of what the situation.
He wasn't even really disrespectful, man. He was just passionate about the situation.
Right.
It's like, bro, like you know what's going on in the world.
Profanity.
Yeah. So you know what's going on in the world.
Other than like the use of profanity.
You know what the world is doing to be safe.
Yeah.
Like we're not fucking retail, bro. Like you know what we have to do. You know we're on a time schedule. You know the protocol.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to see this shit again.
Mad.
And hey, I'm sure the three of us have some type of insurance plans in our lives, and being on the phone with insurance people. I felt when he said that. It's just
yeah.
Like, oh man, I'm on the phone with insurance people every day.
No, I'm not like, if supervision sees me with my mask off and I'm not eating or taking a drink of some water, like I can get reprimanded.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's not. It's just so different. Like an argument can be made for the profanity in the workplace. Like maybe I'll give you that.
Bro, I'm military, bro. Curse all you want.
Completely different level of like what they're dealing with. That like nobody is like a normie person just is never going to be like. If I yelled at a customer that way, it's like no, that's not the same thing. He's not yelling. If you yelled at a customer, you would get fired. Your boss would fire you. Your boss probably wouldn't yell at you. He'd be like, "Look, you're fired." This is a completely different thing. If that production gets shut down, that costs that studio millions of dollars. They have to push the thing. They have to push it back. Then they have to invest more in marketing later. Like it's you like people can't even relate. So like I don't know.
And also,
I don't know about that, but it's like it's stressed out.
Hold on, let me pause it. Eric, you were saying something that I'm sure you forgot by now.
Oh no, I was just saying well, all of that stuff is extremely important about the money and first and foremost, I think it's truly the safety as far as keeping the people safe.
Yes.
Because
call safety before someone calls doorknob when you fart.
But I mean, on a set, even with a limited set, people are spreading this thing. Yeah, it's just nuts. You see all of these parties still going on. It's just crazy. People like, oh, we know each other. We'll be all right.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, like there's not a rule that says if you know over 10 people, you can hang out.
And there's certain people.
10 people.
And we're seeing it all over social media. And, in the movie community, sports, whatever. People like, yeah, look at us.
I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. But anywho, that's that. I forgot what we initially talking about. Is
probably Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 talking about it.
So Eric, how have your first few more active days on Letterboxd been?
Man, no, it's all right. I guess you saw I put a couple of my reviews up. I still got a bunch. I still got a long way to go to catch up to y'all.
Churn them motherfuckers out? Nah, you'll catch Nick by next week.
I haven't read more reviews since 2018, so
yeah.
I might start it up again this year. I don't know. There's nothing coming out.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that'll give me time just to put in some old.
I'm not gonna write a review for.
Shit, I gotta churn out a RoboCop review today.
Oh yeah, a good old classic. But tell me this: what comes with the? I see one of directly guests, Melissa, has a premium account. What comes with that?
The pro account is real dope. You get to see like your statistics and stuff, like what actors you watch a lot of, what directors you watch a lot of, genre studios, what like lists and stuff get the most attention and all of that. They'll come up with like, hey, put this hashtag on your list and it'll be on your pro statistics and all that for different years. But then the patron account is like just a cool like banner movie art for like way more money.
Yeah, it's interesting. No, but I like the idea of the website. I'm gonna spend some more time on it to see what's what. Another
can't put a price on the clout.
Yeah. It's all about the clout.
Pretty much.
Can't put a price on the clout of the premium account. Nobody reads my shit, so I haven't paid any extra money. I was like, nobody's going to read my stuff.
Hey, I cash in on their Black Friday deals.
They have Black
Friday different tiers.
Yeah,
the pro accounts.
Yeah. On Black Friday, the pro is like $12. I don't know how much it is today.
That's monthly.
Nah, it's for the year.
Oh, yearly. Oh,
I don't know. I don't think I could put money into it. I don't think I use Letterboxd correctly. Like, I don't know. I think it's like most people log every single movie that they watch, like, as they watch it. And, like, I'm always watching something. Like, I can't do that. Like,
dude, it's part of my process. I'll post it on Instagram. I'll go to Facebook. I'll go to Twitter, and then I'll go to Letterboxd. Like I think it's so fun, like just sharing what I'm watching every day.
Yeah, I do it with like whatever new release I'm doing. Like that's what I'll rate and like log.
Right.
And if I make a ranking list, which is the only list I make,
Yeah.
like to me, that's the that makes sense.
I gotta actually watch a new movie this year or a recent. I didn't put it down, but y'all probably got a clue. The first movie I watched this year, I mean, watching TV shows, but the first official movie was Action Jackson.
Yeah, see, like you just watched that to like watch it, and that's great. That's what I do. But I'm not like I don't go onto Letterboxd and be like, today I watched Action Jackson.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I'm like, oh, maybe I should put this.
Like I don't know. Like for some reason I don't. And then like there's a lot of the people like we make fun of it, but a lot of people on Instagram that like will log it on Letterboxd and be like, first time watch. I only watched Heat. How long is it taking you to watch this? Finally watched this classic.
When I talk about my review and it's something that I'm like a little embarrassed that I haven't seen before, I'll say it. I'll put in my review, first time watch, blah blah blah. But nothing like Heat, nothing like an undeniable classic.
Yeah. And when Nick said, we talk about we make fun of those people the first time watch. It's not necessarily the fact that it is the first time watch. It's their approach.
Yeah. It will be like
they'll watch it, a movie from 1983.
Yeah.
And from a modern viewpoint, they'll not like it. They'll fault it.
First time watch, this sucks. The effects were trash.
Yeah, and oh my God, it's so, first of all, if you're going to watch a movie from the 80s, the 80s was a very different time.
Yeah.
They didn't give a damn about being politically correct. They didn't give a damn about a lot in that.
Yeah.
Some 80s movies have, what's that, Nick?
I feel like now's a good time to tell Randy that we're talking about his review of A Christmas Story. So, Randy, we're talking about you.
No, but some movies literally have written into the movie's budget a cocaine budget.
Mm-hmm.
Like most famously, the Blues Brothers.
Oh, shit, let me get my time machine.
They had a certain amount of money allocated for Belushi. For cocaine.
You think you know about cocaine?
Yeah, oh man. But seriously, yeah, people, they'll watch a movie and they'll be like, oh, they'll talk about cliches.
Yeah. I was born in 2002. I'm watching this 1978 release of Halloween.
And it's so cliched, even though the movie itself invented most of the tropes. But no, just the
children.
A little quick rant on that.
Something I think about a lot. When I was little, it's like my mom loved Peter Pan. Like I don't know what it was like when I was little, Hook was like the new Peter Pan movie. And I loved Hook. I loved the Disney Peter Pan. My mom grew up with the Mary Martin special of Peter Pan that was on television. It was basically a play starring Mary Martin as Peter Pan. And it was like the 50s or something like that, I want to say. Maybe even earlier. She just might have grown up. But anyway, I grew up watching that same special that my mom did. She showed it to me all the time, and I loved it. And it's very much like a stage play. The dog is a person in a costume, like on their knees, like being the dog. Peter Pan flies. You see the strings enough, but it's like Peter Pan, and I knew this as a child. Later in life, I'm probably like a teenager, maybe early 20s, I don't know. I'm over at my mom's house. She shows it to my niece the same way she showed it to me. She was like, here, I think you'll like this. And my niece was like, that's not a real dog. Like, she looked at me and I was like, Nana, that's not a real dog. And she's like, no, it's obviously not. Like, they weren't going to get a real dog. And she's like, you can see the strings. He's like looking at it like she watched it in a completely different way. And that's what I think about all the time. Like, yes, she was a child, like whatever. Yeah. But those are the people that are writing Letterboxd reviews now. Like, they're just like, not bad. The dog was clearly a person in a costume, and it's like,
it's not. And I'm one of the more recent movies I watched, Apocalypse Now. And watching that movie, you know, I know that came out in the 70s.
And it clearly was not filmed during a war.
Well, war seemed kind of fake.
Oh, man.
He didn't really smell napalm. He didn't smell the napalm, so I didn't like this movie. 1 star.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're definitely going to tackle that and maybe invite some of these people.
Oh, no. I know you guys. I'm not inviting strangers.
It's on a big book. It's like, you said here that Halloween was kind of boring and cliche. Then we just fight them.
Oh, yeah. I'm not inviting strangers to bring their 2020 onto this podcast.
Like, hey, man, we were strangers once.
Nah.
There was a time I didn't know you.
Man.
That was in 3rd grade.
I think, like, I can't even, like, it's been 2.5 years. I can't even remember my approach to thinking, hey, I wonder if Sigmund 7 Cinema and the Nick Goodman would want to be on my podcast.
It was like the Halloween episode.
Yeah, maybe that's what I was doing. Because I was trying to piece together, like, people's different horror movies. And I was trying to get, like, different videos to splice together. I probably asked you guys separately.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was definitely Halloween or the Christmas one. I think it was the Halloween one. I have to go back. Yeah.
I'm so used to this now. Like, I can't even remember what I did before I had you guys on.
Uh-oh. Nick's still there.
Neither came in. Huh?
Oh, there he is. Wait a minute. Freezing a bit.
Dude, what else do we have movies? Because we're at like an hour 11.
I don't know. That's really no news. Everything is rumors.
I swear.
Spider-Man 3 and
I'm thinking.
Yeah, like usually by this time, like awards season talk has started, and it just hasn't.
Yeah. Then
they pushed everything back.
Like the Golden Globe nominations aren't even out yet, and like the awards I think had already happened this time last year. Like, it sucks. That's something else I'm just not excited for. It's like awards season. Like usually I can't wait for the Oscars. Like just Oscar build up more so than the actual Oscars. But like this year I'm like,
yeah.
The whole waiting through February thing like kind of seems unfair to me.
Did we all 3 finish Cobra Kai?
Do what?
Do we all 3 finish Cobra Kai?
Nope.
So I asked because I knew you hadn't finished it.
No, I got 1 episode. I think I'm on episode 9.
Almost a whole day.
Oh, the one where Daniel's wife dies.
No. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, you know what? I can't stand that. No, I'm just...
Nah, hey, she was one of them in season 1. She was one of the more entertaining characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, in the interest of like something juggling a lot of characters very well, Cobra Kai season 3. Not to give out any spoilers, but
yeah,
something that could have just been winky fan service. A lot of that stuff ends up being real good and beneficial.
Well, wait a minute. Did they? I think you said, Randy, going back to the award. Did they push the Oscars?
Yeah, the Oscars are like April now. Because remember everybody talking about Peter Rabbit being eligible?
And yeah, everything coming out through February is like eligible for Oscars. I don't think that's fair.
No.
Maybe
yeah.
I don't.
April 25th. It's practically May.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of people not gonna have. They better
sitting somewhere thinking he's gonna get an Oscar nomination for that Denzel.
Wow.
I fucking did it.
Was the little thing?
Oh man.
Like, I don't think that's fair. I think a lot of great movies still came out last year.
Yeah, that'd been a year.
Ben Affleck, The Way Back, that was 13 months ago.
Man, yeah.
They're like, instead of acknowledging The Way Back and The Invisible Man, let's just make it go through February. And it's like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
To me.
Let's give Meryl Streep another nomination for that Netflix movie.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just nominate what you got. You got some good stuff. Just do that, and then just hope 2021 is better.
Wow.
And it will not be.
I don't know though. Like I said, maybe I don't know the business.
Shut up, civilian.
Yeah.
What about the Golden Globes? When are they?
I don't know. I keep hearing all this talk about, the changes they're making, like with these movies. Like they pushed. I think they had Promising Young Woman in the comedy category, and I think they moved it to drama. It should be noted. A lot of people, I think people took issue with it. It should be noted the movie is hilarious.
February 28th.
Anybody has seen it, but there's a lot of like funny people in Promising Young Woman. The movie is really funny. That's probably why they put it in the comedy category, because it's really funny. But it's also like not a comedy.
I'll try to watch it next weekend.
But the movie Minari, which is like, I think an American production from A24, but it's like
Korean,
half English, half Korean, and they're putting it only in the foreign language category.
Is that the movie that everybody's talking about not being like the only foreign, and it's not getting like that Best Picture nomination or something?
Yeah, and a lot of people were making the argument that like Inglourious Bastards is only like 40% English.
Yeah, if that, like,
it got Best Picture. So it's always something with the Golden Globes. It's always like, you guys are way more out of touch than the Oscars. But like Get Out was a comedy. The Martian was a comedy. Like, they don't know.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But other than hearing that, like, I haven't heard any dates or any actual like.
I just said it, fool. February 28th.
See, I don't know any dates. Everybody just, I don't know any dates. I wish we knew it.
February, March, and it's gonna be. I guess that's almost a 2-month gap between the two big award shows for movies.
It's like they're pushing it back, like hoping somebody comes in with like a real just Oscar baity Bohemian Rhapsody performance, and like we just didn't get that in 2020. It was nice.
Yeah. Because also the Oscars, they said they don't want to do the award show remote.
Yeah, they want to try to force everybody into one room.
That's
gonna be. They're just gonna have all the nominees and nobody else.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's
right.
What they're going.
It's like they don't want to just invite the winners, but like that's what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Like, well, we know who won.
Separated.
Yeah, just show up and get your trophy. Show up, get your trophy, talk a little, and get the fuck out.
That's nothing to do with like the Emmys, but then again, they said they don't want to do it remotely.
Yeah, I thought the Emmys went really like way better than I thought. I was like, I thought the Emmys went pretty well. They didn't have a lot of snafus. As much as I wouldn't want to do it that way.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll come up with something, hopefully.
That's the times. Modern problems require modern solutions.
All right.
Man.
I think for the next episode, like we joked around with like that director versus. I think next episode I kind of want to like try that out for like a segment. I want us all to come up with like a good this director versus this director and then discuss it.
Ron Howard.
The opposite directors.
Yeah, straight up.
And Spielberg.
Scorsese versus all the Marvel directors.
Ooh.
But that's it for this segment. I'll come back, wrap it up. It's Rec League Podcast. Yo, pour one for the weekend. I get the impression that people think that I'm a heathen. Then they hear who I believe in. 2 times the only reason that I'm breathing. They stop looking at me odd, so I guess that we even. No, Steven. I won't call them trash. Them other rappers alright. They just not me, cause I put on a big show. No Paul White. Maybe I'm not talking rapping when I say I can go all night. They claim them Rec League boys all nice, and I don't disagree, cause y'all right. But y'all bite like you trying to remake Fright Night. And I stay making hits like I unplugged your controller playing Fight Night. Don't make any assumption, motherfuckers better ask about me. I do my best to contain my arrogance and let the homies brag about me. You can't measure up? Cool, fall back like your hairline is receding. Now step your fucking bars up and have a pleasant evening. And chill until the next episode.